Alright, welcome back to the A to Z challenge. We're all the way over here at the letter I for indie publishers. Now, one of the things that comes up is that as you go around, sometimes it can be difficult to find your place in the publishing world, and one of the very real outlets is our indie publishers. There are lots of them. Some people call them the e-only publishers, the digital-only presses. There's lots of words for them. Sometimes people think that they're not as good as, quote, real publishers. I've heard people call indie publishers, sort of a dime a dozen. There's so many, full of amateur this, and, some of that, I am very sorry to report, is true. There are some publishers where the people who are involved have no right to call themselves editor. By the way, there's no special degree that you can get where they say, oh, and I am an editor. Like, for instance, I have had degrees where you get to the end and you get a title, and you can take classes in editing and in publishing and all of that, but there's no bar that you have to pass. There's no editor test. There's nobody who's, if you want to be a lawyer, you have to pass the bar to practice law. There's no such thing for editors. So pretty much, hey, I could be an editor. You wouldn't want me as an editor. I'm pretty dyslexic, just saying. I have homonym problems, among other problems, like spelling, sentence structure, But, editing isn't necessarily a thing that everybody's good at. So a lot of times you have really small indie publishers and they have really great ideas, and sometimes that really pans out, and sometimes you really are better just going with self-publishing and finding your own direction. Now, full disclosure, I have a book coming out with an independent publisher. It will be out in November, hopefully. And so far that has just been fantastic. I love my publisher. So far they are so wonderful, and I love, love, love working with them. And, the changes that I've seen in my book have been just magnificent and wonderful. But, I can also see that there is the potential in another situation or setting where that wouldn't be the case. We hear horror stories about so-and-so's book went through and basically had line edits, and then they released it into the world, out into the wild. And so, you have to be very careful when you pick a publisher. And you have to realize that, one person's experience with a publisher might not be any indication of what that publisher is actually like. So with indie publishers, you got to be really careful. You got to know what it is that you're looking for. And I've already talked about how you probably don't actually know what you're looking for until you've experienced it. So yeah, be careful out there. It's scary. Indie publishers, sometimes good, sometimes not so good. I mean, literally, I could go print out a book right now and start my own publishing company. In fact, technically, I did. I did that once. I printed. Let's be clear. I printed and bound some books for my mom for Christmas one year. She was tickled. But yeah, hey, I was in publishing. Very limited edition. But yeah, that's all it takes.